David Goggins changed the way millions of people think about pain, but there is one thing he got wrong, and if you've been following his method, it may already be rewiring your brain in the exact opposite direction he intended. The blind spot isn't the suffering, it's the contempt for recovery, and the neuroscience says that distinction is everything. Goggins' doctrine works. Voluntary suffering does build resilience. Stress inoculation, deliberately exposing yourself to hard things so they stop breaking you, is backed by real research. That part is solid. The problem isn't the suffering, the problem is what Goggins teaches you to do with the window after it. He calls recovery weakness. He treats rest as something soft people use as an excuse. And that single belief is where the neuroscience quietly breaks from him. Because when the nervous system never exits high alert, cortisol doesn't spike and drop, it stays elevated. And sustained cortisol elevation isn't just exhaustion, it's structural damage. Chronic stress leads to dendritic atrophy and measurable volume loss in the prefrontal cortex, the exact region responsible for judgment, impulse control, and learning. That's not motivational language, that's a physical change you can see on an MRI scan. You're not building a callus on your mind. You're quietly eroding the hardware you need to perform. So if suffering alone isn't the answer, what is the missing variable Goggins never talks about? Have you ever pushed through exhaustion and told yourself rest was weakness? Or did some part of you already sense that was the missing piece? Drop your answer in the comments below, because the neuroscience of what actually happens during recovery is where Goggins' framework completely breaks down. Neuroplasticity, the rewiring Goggins wants, doesn't happen during the hard thing, it happens in the window after it. Your brain consolidates stress adaptations during recovery, not during the stress itself. That's not a loophole in the framework, that's the mechanism. Without the recovery window, the nervous system doesn't build a callus. It stays locked in threat response mode and begins to automate anxiety instead of toughness. Elite military units and top-tier athletes aren't training harder than Goggins, they're training their nervous systems to return to baseline faster each time. That's the real hard thing, not just enduring, recovering deliberately so the next exposure hits a more regulated system, not a more damaged one. Goggins built something real, the discipline, the refusal to quit, keep all of it. But contempt for recovery isn't toughness. It's the one belief that turns his method from a tool into a trap. Drop the contempt. Keep the discipline. That is the upgrade. Subscribe now if you want more frameworks that challenge what you think you know, and watch this one next.